The Alton Towers Resort is full of the UK's biggest and best thrill rides, roller coasters, and attractions. But let's be honest, if you go unprepared, you may fall into a few traps which may turn your day into a bit of a disaster. So before you find yourself in the world's longest queue or missing out on the best rides, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 10 biggest mistakes to avoid at Alton Towers in 2025. But first, before we get on into the video, if you do enjoy watching, then please hit that like button to let me know. And if you are new around here, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing, because we make plenty of theme park and adventure videos here, which you don't want to miss. Number 1, not booking online. So mistake number 1 is not booking online. Now, I get it, it's always good to be a little bit spontaneous every now and again, but in this case, that spontaneity, spontaneity, is that the word? In this case, the spontaneity, it's going to cost you. The current on the day price to Alton Towers is around £68, whereas if you book in advance, it'll cost you around £29. That's a £39 difference, which could be spent on a friend or family member joining you, and you'll even have £10 left over. Online booking, it not only saves you money, but it also guarantees you entry into the park if it's a sellout day. Imagine travelling all the way to Alton Towers just to find out that the park is sold out. That would really suck. So yeah, always book online in advance to save you money and to avoid the disappointment. Number 2, arriving after 10 AM. So at Alton Towers, the park usually opens at 10 AM. But if you're arriving at 10 AM or after, you're already behind. This resort, it is huge. Parking, security, walking to the entrance, it takes a lot of time. If you get there by 9:15 or 9:30, you'll be on your first ride before the crowds even warm up. The 10 AM opening time which is advertised, that is for the rides and not the park itself. So even if it means waking up a little bit earlier, it's definitely worth it because you can make the most out of your day and get on those rides first. On busy days, the traffic usually builds up around the opening time too, so if you get there before the opening time, it means you're also going to beat that traffic, so it's a win-win in every single way. Number 3, going to the Smiler first. The Smiler is one of the most popular rides in the whole park. And understandably, it's a fantastic roller coaster with a world record number of inversions. So, of course, it's going to be one of the top rides that guests go to when they visit the park. With the Smiler being so popular, most guests, they're going to head to that ride first. So instead, head left and head straight to Forbidden Valley and get on Galactica, Nemesis Reborn, Toxicator, and then loop back around later. The queue for the Smiler, it usually drops off later in the day. So by doing this, you'll be able to get on all the rides in Forbidden Valley, whilst a lot of guests are in that queue for the most popular rides, like the Smiler. When I was last at the park, I put this to the test and I went to Forbidden Valley first, and I got on Toxicator, Galactica and Nemesis Reborn, all in half an hour. So I would definitely recommend that you do the same. Number 4, ignoring the weather. Alton Towers is in Staffordshire in the UK, so of course it's going to rain a lot. No matter what the weather forecast, always come prepared. The UK weather, it is very unpredictable. Whether that be bringing spare clothes, waterproofs, a spare pair of socks, an umbrella. You can buy all of these items at Alton Towers, but it is going to cost you, so it's best to be prepared and bring your own from home. This is of course not just a tip for Alton Towers, it's a tip for all UK theme parks. But Alton Towers, it's the UK's biggest theme park, so the last thing you're going to want to be doing is walking around in wet clothing. Trust me, I've been there, and I would not recommend. Number 5, wasting time on food. Now, I'm just going to assume that you're not heading to Alton Towers for the food, you're heading to Alton Towers for the rides and roller coasters. but you could end up spending 45 minutes or so in a queue for a restaurant if you're not smart about it. The top tip is to go for lunch early, say 11:30, or a little bit later on at say 2:30. This means you skip those busy lunch hours, especially when it's a busy park day. Whilst everyone has gone for lunch during those busy lunch hours, you could be queuing for your favourite rides and roller coasters. And because everyone is there having lunch, it may mean that the queues are shorter too. So you're going to be getting more out of your day if you avoid those busy lunch hours. And there are plenty of snack options across the park, many quick service options, so you don't necessarily have to sit down and eat at Alton Towers. There's plenty of other options available. Number 6, not using the app smartly. Now the app, it's great for wait times, sometimes, however don't use it blindly. The app is great to use for the map and to get a rough idea of queue times, but always take a look at the visible queue lines when nearby. The app, it isn't always accurate. During my last visit to Alton Towers, the app was telling me that the Wicker Man wait time was roughly 20 minutes, but when I got there, the queue was coming out of the entrance, so there was absolutely no way that was true. The last thing you're going to want to be doing is joining a queue that you think is going to be quick, and you end up waiting over an hour. And it goes the other way too. The app might be saying that a queue is really long, but when you get there, it's not actually that bad. So yeah, the app is great, but don't always trust what it says. Now, of course, there are some rides where it makes it a little bit more difficult to judge the queue line because you can't physically see it. Rides like 13, but for rides like Nemesis Reborn, The Wicker Man, Spinball Wizard, it can be easier to judge how the queue is looking. Number 7, thinking Fasttrack equals no queues. Now, Fasttrack, it sounds like a great idea. That's until you join a Fasttrack queue with a 25-minute wait with other fast trackers. Fair enough, this is usually during very busy sold out days, but there are better ways to avoid the queues and save you money. Like I mentioned earlier, prioritize early rides or even use the single rider queues instead. Alton Towers have introduced more single rider queues across different rides this year. So take advantage of those if you don't mind riding alone. Single rider, it usually has a shorter queue, but as I mentioned previously, always judge by how long the queue is. So yeah, Fasttrack can be great, but in my opinion, it's best to save money and skip those queues by prioritizing and making a plan for the day. Number 8, missing hidden shortcuts. Alton Towers, it is the UK's biggest theme park, so you're going to want to take advantage of all the shortcuts that you can. Use the Haunted Hollow as your route to Forbidden Valley, and whatever you do, don't use the route to the left of the towers unless you don't mind walking up a million steps. You get some great views of the gardens taking that route. However, if you just want to get to Forbidden Valley as quick as possible, the Haunted Hollow route, it's definitely the best option. And not only is the Haunted Hollow a great shortcut, it adds a little spooky fun to your day too. The Skyride is back open this year too, finally, so definitely use this to your advantage to get around the park. Number 9, not planning around shows and events. Now, unfortunately, there aren't as many shows and events at Alton Towers in 2025, which is a real shame to see because I usually love their events. However, there are still a few that you can attend. Scarefest and the Fireworks Spectacular, these are two of my favourite events, and the opening hours, they're also extended, so that means you get even longer inside the park. And that also means you get to ride some of the roller coasters in the dark. So when you are booking your trip to Alton Towers, try and book it during one of these events because it adds something else onto your day at the park. Number 10, leaving at 4 PM. The last one, and it's a big one, don't leave the park at 4 PM. For the last hour, queue times drop massively. The rides and roller coasters queue lines, they close at the advertised closing time and not the ride itself. So hit the big coasters again or re-ride your favourite as the park is closing. You'll get more done in the last hour than the first, as most guests, they'll be leaving at this time. This is just another tip to make the most out of your day at the park. So there we have it, 10 mistakes to avoid at Alton Towers in 2025. Make these changes and I promise you, less queuing, less walking, and you're going to make the most out of your day. What's the biggest mistake that you've fallen victim to at Alton Towers? Let me know in the comments. But that is it for this video. If you want to find out some hidden secrets and Easter eggs about Alton Towers, then click this video right here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.